where is player safety at this point? Like, I am beyond disgusted. Like, Petrangelo there getting slashing Draisaitl. Like,
Yeah.
there's too
I
much of
think,
this.
yeah, player safety, like, I think that they're kind of getting away from the game. Like,
Safety?
I think they're trying, yeah, I think they're just trying to, like, they don't want to affect the games too much in a way where, like, they're kind of getting away with what they should do in kind of creating a fair balance. So you see, like, someone like Petrangelo who goes in with that vicious slash that is not a hockey play and just, like, completely out of nowhere. And you see him get one game, and then it's like, in any, like sure, like to make the series competitive, you give him one game, but it's like with how Bunting got 3 games and stuff like that. Like I think that they need to stay consistent with what the calls are instead of trying to kind of like give,
Appease.
yeah, like appease the calls or like the the amount of suspension time to make the series more competitive because you know if Petrangelo is suspended for the rest of the Vegas Edmonton series, you're not going to hear the end about it about oh we would have won if Petrangelo didn't get suspended for that long. So it's like there's really no winning scenario because if you give him one game, then you're kind of letting Vegas off the hook on how long he should be suspended. But if you suspend him for too long, then you're going to have a bunch of people saying, "Oh, Vegas should have won that series because Petrangelo was out for the rest of the series." So there's
Yeah,
really no winning in player safety.
but do the right thing and be like,
Yeah,
hey, look, somebody straight up tried to murder a guy. Like, I'm always gonna go off of the Mark Scheifele suspension of his hit on Dane Evans. Yeah. And I was
yeah,
just like, 4 games, like, okay, that one seemed excessive. And I get it. Most folks don't like Mark Scheifele, so make him pay when he really does something stupid. But it's like, I don't know, if I'm gonna go hack a guy's arm with a hockey stick, I'm going away for 6 months. Easy. Like, I don't know. Petrangelo should have got 7 games. I like just firm. Like that was just
yeah,
assault. Assault is what that was. And I don't know. I get I kind of get Darnell Nurse's fight or his suspension because he technically, by the book, created some sort of fight instigation with the last 5 minutes, even though both men agreed to it. It's just dumb. You need to get a goon out of that position because Pierre, or yes, he's just not doing his job.
yeah. I think that the main thing is like there's just no consistency. Like
Yeah.
you don't like there's no like you can't look at like you look at Shifley's thing and you look at Petrangelo's thing. It's like the way that the penalties are formatted. It's like they both had a severe impact and like the play wasn't too much different like there's like the impact of it so it's like why is Shifley's 4 games why is this like I wish there was an explanation on why this is 4 games this is 1 game like there's no really kind of transparency of it and it's like there's no consistency and it's just frustrating to see because like you want to make sure players are safe and you don't want someone to kind of incentivize injuring players because if Petrangelo does that and injures Draisaitl and only gets like 1 or 2 games, like what's stopping someone like Milan Lucic who's like getting fourth line minutes and just kind of a grinder and just kind of does whatever, doing that and taking out McDavid or something like that and just kind of and then you get a huge advantage. Like you take out McDavid for that much time.
Yeah, you take out a star player like that. I mean, Brandon Manning took out Connor McDavid his rookie year, and it's just unreal that they let this kind of crap go for so long. I'm disappointed with it, and I hope that they figure some stuff out. And also, but kind of going back to your point of like it's going to get more violent. Well, then you have to bring in goons and goons fight or enforcers fight. We'll call them enforcers. And I was like listening to the local news station. They were talking about the fact that NHL enforcers, anyone with 50 or more fights or average more than 3 minutes in penalty minutes a night, those guys died 10 years younger than their peers, their counterparts. And it's like, that's awful. I love hockey fights. It's genuinely one of my favorite parts about the sport. And I know it's barbaric, but it's fun to watch, especially when it's a good slobber knocker. So I want to keep fighting in the game, but I'm also like a little bit depressed hearing that those fighters are dying sooner. And really, you don't need to have a fight every single night, but you do kind of need to make sure that you don't have aggressive fights, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to want to kill you when I'm beating you up for hitting my guy. I should, beat you up a little bit, teach you a lesson, and send you off to the box. Um, because there is that real possibility you could kill a guy with your fist.
Yeah. I
So,
think that the OHL did something where you can have like a certain amount of fights per year.
mhm.
And then if you do beyond that, like you can face fines and suspensions. And it's like, I don't think it's worth putting like your life on the line, like putting, or like not like that, but like kind of like shortening your life so you
Mhm.
can stand up for someone. So it's like, I think that they should look into like who's fighting and like kind of finding out a way where these people aren't being affected long term by fighting so much that they're like sure they're sending a message to the other teams often and kind of sparking their team to success, but it's like they shouldn't be kind of the like the garbage out the garbage chute where they die 10 years earlier. Like it's
Mhm.
like they like I get that sacrifices need to be made to win, but I don't think that a lot of people would want to sacrifice 10 years of their life so they could have that success in their career just punching people.
Yeah, that and like uh, getting paid some of the least amount of money within the league as well. You put your body on the line, and it's such a different way. And guys, when I was watching hockey as a kid, it was big George LaRock and just beat the shit out of someone. Um, John Scott was a guy I loved watching too because he could just like dummy a guy because he was just big. But yeah, you just because of the brain damage, it does affect them, and CTE is a real thing. And I'm disappointed that Gary Bettman hasn't acknowledged that. And I don't want to cut fighting from the game, but we got to figure out a way
Yeah.
to keep things safe. But having a cap on fights, then you've got rat players that are out there tapping you and trying to get you
Yeah.
all flustered up, and then it's like again, it leads to a more aggressive fight, in my opinion, when it's like, well, now I have to kick your ass for
Yeah.
trying to push me over the edge. So I don't know. It's hard
Something
to
needs to be done.
yeah, something does need to be done. And yeah, I think firmer suspensions is going to be the ticket here. Is sit out for a few games and like actually think about what you did. Make this a real financial slap on the or like, make it hurt a little bit, but have that money go into their future pensions or whatever.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that really just shows how, like, back to kind of Matthew Tkachuk talk there. I think that kind of just shows how good Matthew Tkachuk is at, like, I don't know, like, exactly how many fights he got into, but being able to get under the skin of so many players while still being at, like, a heart level kind of impact. I think that
Yeah.
a lot of players like him, like, are, like, just kind of are so like I'd say he's like a almost like a top like 8 player in the league now just because he's had back to back 100-point seasons, Hart nomination. It's like and being able to like create that disturbance, I think without like affecting his team negatively with fighting and stuff like that, I think is very commendable by him.
Oh, absolutely it is. And yeah, I mean, his dad was one of those guys too. Like he was a great player and he knew how to piss people off. And the fact that Matty Tkachuk there was able to punch Marner, was it Marner for like three
Yeah,
times there? Like the fact that no Toronto Maple Leaf got in there and like beat up Matthew Tkachuk, like I can't believe that there was no Leaf there to like immediately get there. So
yeah.
that's why
And
you
that's probably
lost
where they need to
Toronto.
change. Yeah, that's where the change needs to happen. You need to have some I think they need some more team